So Sebastian Fundora becomes the new WBA and WBO 154-pound champion, man. Shout out to Sebastian Fundora. He proved me wrong. Uh, I had Tszyu stopping him late, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And I'm glad I didn't bet on this motherfucking fight because I didn't know it was gonna be no cuts and all that. But nonetheless, we got a new unified champion, man. Beginning of the fight, we got my guy, but Fundora got a broken nose. That straight right that Tszyu hit him with, that broke his shit right there. That was a beautiful straight right from Tszyu. But Sebastian Fundora showed grit. Showed that he had a pretty good chin on him in this fight, man. I mean, listen, man. He surprised the shit out of me and probably most people too, because we know Sebastian Fundora to fight on the inside. He fights small. This fight, he kept it on the outside for the most part. Utilized the jab. And I'm like, yo, I know he has a jab because I said that in one of my videos recently. Like, he does have a jab. He used it to get in. But this time, he used it kind of like as a he used it different ways. Like, he used it to keep Tszyu back. Use it as a measuring tool, a measuring stick. It wasn't. He didn't really use it to. Like, a few times he would use it as like a stick, as a piston. But it wasn't much of that kind of a jab. It was more of a probing, keep you off me and keep you back type jab. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, he boxed. He boxed this fight, and then what round was it that Tszyu got cut? I think it was like the shit, man. I think it was the fifth round. I think it was the fifth round, right? Where Tszyu was coming in, and Sebastian Fundora, I guess he used his left to come down and block his body. It looked like Tszyu ran into his elbow and gashed Tszyu's head wide open. That was crazy. I mean, it was immediate blood just streaming down. Then you had Fundora bleeding from the nose with a broken nose. But the cut on Tszyu's head, I was wondering, man, like, how come they didn't have any medicine in the corner to kind of stop the fucking blood or at least reduce it? You know, I don't know. That was kind of crazy. But Tszyu comes out, gives it his all, and you could clearly see his eye, was impairing his vision. He kept wiping his eye with the glove. Sebastian Fundora picked up on it, started really stepping it up a little bit. Tszyu was still he was still a game dog. He was catching Fundora with some good shots. Fundora wasn't really fazed by these shots, and it never looked like anybody was gonna really get stopped. Man, these dudes were just going at it. Tszyu clearly was impaired because of his eye. Fundora, I mean, he had a broken nose, but he could still see. He still had his vision, So at one point, I think it was like the few rounds, the ninth or 10th, they was going to stop it. It looked like they was going to stop it, but I'm like, damn, please let these dudes just get it on. Let them finish, man. They doing what they do. These is warriors, man. Let these dudes they finish their fight. It wasn't like it was like immediate danger or nothing like that, like life and death situation, So Sebastian Fundora impressed me with his boxing skill, man. He did. Absolutely, hands down. Tszyu, man, to me, he looked like a typical dude, but it looked like he couldn't adjust, man. It looked like he wasn't really adjusting to anything. I understand, yeah, he had a cut on his head. It was bleeding. That slowed him down significantly, though. So a lot of people gonna go out there and say Sebastian Fundora only won because Tszyu had a cut on his head, but this is boxing, dude. Nobody expected that to happen. It happens. He ran into his elbow. It wasn't intentional. He just happened to get his head cut open, and Sebastian Fundora took advantage of it. Would have the fight played out different if Tszyu didn't have a cut on his head? I'll be honest with you. No, I don't think it would have. I think it probably would. I think he would have did much better than he would have. But I still think that jab would have still been causing some issues. And I think Fundora's chin was really solid in this fight. So I think it still probably would have went to decision in favor for Fundora. Uh, so now we got a new champion, man. But you know what's crazy about this when you think about it, man? This is what happens. I told y'all the boxing gods are watching, bro. And it's like Tszyu was already talking about not fighting Crawford. The team was already talking that crazy shit. I'm like, yo, son, this is fuck around. There should be something different happening in this fight. And then you don't get, then now you're going to lose everything. You know, just speaking that shit into existence, man, ain't good, bro. They should have kept whatever they plans was to their goddamn self. You put that negative juju out there, and that's what's going to happen. And you see, this was the outcome of that shit. You see that. And now, Tszyu back to square one. No belts. But he, you know, they was ready to have him avoid Terrence Crawford, you know, like he was the man that was moving and shaking in the division, like he was the man of the hour. Bruh, no, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? You got your belt, you know. You wasn't, you know, that WBO belt, they elevated that shit to you, bro. So it's like, you ain't, you know, come on. And then you was fighting for the WBC belt because of Fundora, pretty much. Otherwise, you wouldn't be fighting for no WBC belt. And then you got Errol Spence Jr. He jumps in the ring. I'm like, oh, there you go. When I seen that, I said, yeah, that's coming. That's gonna be next. And when you see shit like that, you know what's coming. That's the PBC way. So you know, Errol gets in there. Like, yeah, he tall, but you know, we ain't nothing though. We gonna break him down like we always do, man. Shut your ass up, bro. Shut your ass up. You supposed to be running it back with Bud, you sucker. You a sucker, man. But you know what's crazy? Either he gonna get in there and get beat up badly by Fundora, or he might get past Fundora, and then now, that's if the fight is next. Then Errol Spence will be a double belt holder, and then if this happens, all that's going to end up happening is now everybody we gonna probably be back in the same boat that we was in at welterweight when it comes to Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Years or stringing along the fight, because they know if Terrence Crawford is gonna go after those belts because Errol got it. You're like, oh, you know, we supposed to rematch anyway. Now you got two belts. I want them straps. What's up? Then we get to see where Errol Spence's true heart is really at. I don't think personally he want any more problems with Terrence Crawford, bro. That's why this is happening now. But in a strange twist, that they paths might end up having to cross again anyway. And then we gonna see what Errol Spence is really about, man. He didn't want that rematch, bro. He had, like I say, save face. But my thing is this: with the boogeyman knocking at 154's door, and Errol Spence is talking that talk again, like, you know, he's talking spicy. All right, now Fundora's gonna be right there. If you get past him, you got two belts. What's up with Bud? You gonna line it up with Bud? I guarantee you they won't. Watch. I guarantee you they ain't gonna line it up with Bud, especially if Bud struggles against Fundora before he win. Like if we go to the cards and Errol was getting beat up a lot of the fight, but then he rallied through or something like that. He just happened to rally and end up outboxing Fundora. They definitely ain't gonna put Terrence Crawford in the ring, Errol in the ring with Terrence Crawford, because they know that this is gonna be the end of the fucking line for Errol Spence. If they do that, they're gonna try to make as much more money out of Errol Spence as they possibly can before they turn off his lights, bro. That's what's gonna happen. You know, but if they were smart, maybe they'd make another fight with Bud. But they probably not. You know that's what it is. But anyway, Tszyu no longer a champion. They put that energy out there, and that's what your ass get for ignition, for potentially trying to duck the boogeyman, picking and choosing who you gonna fight first. He petitioned to fight you, bro, for their belt, and now you ain't even got that belt no more. Yo, Yo, you can't make this shit up. Bro. This is crazy. Anyway, though, let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Rebel Life Boxing. Catch y'all later on the next one, and I'm out.